The last incense stick had burned out.
Outside the small house, garlands of wilted marigolds still hung on the doorway. A framed photo of Arun's father rested beside a flickering oil lamp, surrounded by white flowers now beginning to brown at the edges.
The house sat quietly on the edge of a small village in South India, where the afternoons were drenched in golden turmeric light, and the wind carried the scent of dried bodhi leaves. It was the house Arun grew up in, and now the house that had just witnessed his father's funeral. After many years of living in Mumbai, Arun had returned not out of duty, but because of a silent pull he couldn't quite name. The house was unchanged, weathered walls, low ceilings, squeaky wooden doors, but stepping inside felt nothing like memory. His father had been a stern man, disciplined like a monk, rarely speaking, never soft. Arun remembered clearly. No praise, no hugs, no warmth in his eyes, only cold stares, long silences, and strict teachings. He began cleaning, one object at a time. Every item brought back fragments of forgotten memories. Then, in the back of a drawer, behind a bundle of old letters, Arun found a small wooden box, dusty but intricately carved. On its lid, in ancient Hindi script, was engraved, "Open only when you're ready to forgive." Arun froze. His hands trembled. A familiar anger flared in his chest. Forgive that man."
He set the box aside and opened, unwanted.
That night, lying in his old bedroom, surrounded by crickets and the rustle of dry leaves, Arun tried to sleep, but in his head, a melody began to play, not soft and sweet, but broken and stuttering, like a music box struggling to breathe. The next morning, he picked up the box again. This time, not with anger, but something closer to curiosity. Slowly, he opened the lid. There was no music, just a thin wooden panel at the bottom, and beneath it, a tiny key.
Arun gently removed the panel. Inside the box was something unexpected.
A cassette tape. In the corner of the house still stood an old tape recorder. He plugged it in, pressed play.
A faint hiss. Then, a voice.
His father's voice. "Today, I scolded you again, like always." The voice was dry, but behind it, a silence heavy with weight. "I don't know how to be a father. My own father was silent too. I thought teaching you strength would be enough.
But every night, I wonder,
do you hate me?" Arun didn't move.
The tape continued. Each recording was a private confession, quiet, never meant to be heard.
Sometimes his father sighed. Sometimes he stopped mid-sentence, as if the pain was too much to finish.
"I made this box for you,
but I never dared to give it, because I know I don't deserve to." Arun sat still. Outside, the sun had risen, casting light through the wooden slats on the table. The box remained open, no longer a box, but a vessel that held a voice long buried beneath silence. He opened the lid once more. This time, the box played a melody. It wasn't perfect. It trembled, missed notes, but it was gentle, warm, and for the first time in years, Arun cried. Not from anger, not out of forgiveness, but because he finally understood. Some people don't know how to love well,
but that doesn't mean they don't love deeply.
Weeks later, Arun left the village. On the bus right back to the city, he kept the box beside him.
Next to him sat a little boy, curious about the wooden object.
Arun smiled and opened the box. "This is the first song my father ever wrote for me."
But he wrote it in silence. If this story touched your heart,
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more emotional stories like this.